So the movement from aware to capable, again, was quite a significant jump in terms of the time it took for me to do so. It took a lot of confidence and obviously practice in terms of teaching to get to that point. So I was very much aware that it wouldn't come overnight. It would come with a lot of practice and delivering it myself. Now, to get from that aware to capable, it took a lot of time for me where I was sat down and actually had a look at the planning stage of it, and then had a breakdown of, right, well, if I was in that student's shoes, what do I actually need to learn? How am I going to get to that point? And then what are my goals for them to be able to get to that point? So that was one of the kind of steps that I took. But another one that proved absolutely substantial in terms of moving myself from aware to capable was actually sitting in on other teachers' lessons and learning them from myself how they would actually deliver that content. This proved invaluable to me because then I could actually see, well, this is what I will need to be doing actually next year when I qualify. What types of things can I then do to go from that aware to capable? What types of things can I bring into my own practice? Whether it be a task or the way I actually deliver that content to be able to meet that standard of capable. Moving on from that, my university sessions on a Friday were also very, very beneficial. Sitting down and having a look at, right, well, if we're learning about the digestive system, for example, in biology, how can you actually deliver that content in a way that's fun for the students, but also fun for you as a teacher? Removing that stress of actually having to try and deliver it, but removing that stress for a student of actually having to try and remember content that is quite hard. Very much at the start of my PGC and my clinical practice one, I wasn't really that concerned in terms of exploiting these extracurricular subject disciplines in terms of literacy or numeracy. I was very much aware that, right, I need to get my science up to scratch first before I even start considering putting these other things into place. Now, moving up from aware to capable, it then became a part and parcel of my actual teaching, where I was lucky enough to have iPads to hand, where students could then get their digital competency up by using iPads. Some tasks and lessons where students were able to write letters in terms of case studies, but also then in terms of little starters where students, for example, would do code breakers where they had mathematical problems. The mathematical problem, when they worked it out, would give them a number that would link then to a letter in the alphabet, for example. So these kind of started to come into play, but I would say at first they weren't solidified in practice in terms of being actually substantial to the lesson or having a strong link to the lesson. But moving towards that capable then, as I developed and actually managed to sit down properly with teachers and peers, I was then able to pick and choose in my planning broader curriculum areas that would actually have an impact on the student and actually an impact in a way that would develop that skill but would be of importance in that lesson as well.